Hi everybody, Rachel here from Rachthestamper.com, and today I am not exaggerating. This is going to be my 6th attempt at recording this video. I'm going to show you how to make this cute little box that will fit some really great little Debbie heart treats. These are for Valentine's Day. I thought this would be a great treat if you had something small you needed to make for somebody. So this is the little box that it goes in. I had a second one, but I actually filled it with other treats and gave it to my nephew. And I'm going to tell you as we make this video, the technical difficulties that I had as I was recording it, also with prepping it and everything else. But it's a great little box. You can decorate it with some of the From My Heart Valentine's paper. It's a specialty paper. As you can see, it's got that little reflective quality to it. It's really cute. So to do this is a piece of 8 1/4 by 9 1/4 Flirty Flamingo. You could use any color you like. I will post all their measurements, so don't fret about that because I did do a little bit of pre-cutting. However, I since gave that away to my nephews. So as I said, I will show you this as we go along, so just bear with me. It's pretty simple. The hardest part, apparently, is actually recording it to be able to share with people. So you can use the heartfelt stamp set and the coordinating scallop and regular heart punches. That way you can kind of decorate this any way you want. So you can add your little Valentine sentiment. Lots of fun stuff that you can do with it. So let me move this out of the way. I'm going to show you how to get started. I prefer to use the Simply Scored scoring tool, but you could use your trimmer if you'd like. So one other thing I will find that when you score this, sometimes it's easier to score and then flip and rotate and score again. That way you get a nice uniform size box if there's any chance that you might have scored incorrectly. So we're going to begin by scoring at 1 1/4 on each side. Now this is the part where you could do 7, but I just like to flip it and do 1 1/4 again. And then we're going to turn it so it's on the 9 1/4 inch side. We're going to score at 1 1/4, 4, 5 1/4, and 8. Which this one would be the other 1 1/4. So you could have gone 1 1/4, 4, rotate it, and done 1 1/4, 4 again. But either way, whatever works better for you. So we are going to need to cut up some DSP in order to decorate this. So this is loosely what it's going to look like, except I did make a few little modifications from this. This is one of the other templates that I had to abandon because I did not measure the inside of it correct. So I do measure these by myself, as you can tell from my redoing over and over again. So what I'm going to do, since I did this one before, actually I did this one on a piece of Sahara sand, which I think kind of gives like a nice contrast to it. So you could do that. I'm going to use this paper here with the hearts, and then the other side has the shiny dots. So for this, you're going to need a piece to go across the top, and then piece for the side, one for the front, and if you wanted to, you could put one here. So that's kind of up to you. So you're going to need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 pieces. So kind of your choice. So for this one, what I think we'll do is we'll do the hearts for the front portion, and then we'll use the dots for the rest of it. So for these pieces, I'm just going to go ahead and cut these ahead of time. You are going to need, what did I say? So that is 5 1/2. Oops, cue the phone ringing, 5 1/2. So I'm going to go with 5 and, what is that? 5 1/2, 5 3/8. By 2 3/8. So I'm just going to trim this part first, so I don't have a huge, that's not right. That's not 2. Hold on one sec. No, I'm thinking, what am I thinking? 2 1/2. Oh, I cut that way too short. Come on, girl. 2 5/8 is what I believe I wanted to go. See, look, filming this again, and yet again, I'm having some issues. That measures almost exactly. Okay. So then I said 5 1/2, but I wanted to add an 1/8. So actually it's going to be 5 1/2, 5 6/8. And just see if that fits on here where I think it does. Yes. Okay. So 5 6/8 by 2 6/8. Then we'll just take this little piece here, and this we will go with 5 6/8. By 1 1/8. And whoops, I was going to say this one might measure up exactly, that I can get 2 pieces. Oh, come on. 2 pieces out of it. Let's see. because this is going to go onto the front. Yep, and let's see, what's this one look like? This might be a hair slimmer. It is, but I'm going to use this for the inside anyway. So if you wanted this one here and on the inside, you're going to want 2. So this is 5 6/8 by 1 1/8, but I'm going to use my little scrap piece here. And then one more little piece. So we will go with 1 1/8, and I'm just going to trim this one into 2 pieces by 2 5/8 times 2. 2 5/8. There we go. 1, 2. And then these are for the little side portion here. Okay, so that's all the paper. And again, no need to worry about writing that down. I will put all of this on my blog, which I do usually put the blog post at the top of the YouTube description here. It'll say blog post, and you just have to, you can't click it, unfortunately. You just have to copy and paste it. So I am sorry that it's not a clickable link. For some reason, I don't think I have enough subscribers on YouTube yet to be able to add the clickable links. There's different things you can attain as you have more subscribers. So I think when you get to 10,000, then you're able to add them in as an actual link. So share with all your friends and family and crafty friends. We're just scoring all those and using our bone folder. That way, if I have more subscribers, I can add more features. So now I'm going to just trim up to the score line on all 6. So, oh, actually it's going to be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to flip and repeat, and then I'm going to wedge them a little bit. So long story short, I decided I was actually going to create this other box, and every time I show this other box, I have a problem, so I'm not going to show it yet. I'll do another video for it. But I was going to create this open box, so I'm just going to wedge all these just a teeny bit. Kind of makes them go together a little bit smoother. And I was kind of measuring everything out, and the first thing I did was I measured this at 1 1/4, gave this 2 3/4, and I made this one 1. So obviously when the box closed, it was a little lopsided. So then I went back and I was just doing a little bit of trimming and didn't work. So I had to kind of rework the box because I was just being a little goofball about it. But do want to show you, that goes to show how much I do put into these projects. I don't always use other people's pre-designed elements. A lot of times I will try to make my own project. So I started with this other little open box I made. That didn't work out. So then I went with designing this one. And even after redesigning the paper, I still had some issue where I could not get it to be square, like no matter what I was doing. So this was going to look like with your little trimmed pieces. And what I am going to do is I am going to put the DSP on prior to closing it. So one other thing you could note here, if you know someone's going to have trouble with this, you could cut in with a little 1/2-inch circle punch. You could make a little opening there. That way they know how to open it. But I'm going to go ahead and add here also the DSP. So we're going to have a piece here. This one will be the nicer looking one on the front, the bigger one. I'll put the smaller one on the inside. And then we'll have the hearts on the top and then the other dots here. One other thing, sometimes when you cut the other direction, it tends to give your paper a little bit of an edge. So usually what I do is I'll just go with my bone folder and just press it just to get it to go back down. So that is, unfortunately, sometimes a little bit of a normal variance with your cutter. And I do actually have a brand new blade, so I think sometimes when you get the foil edged pieces, it tends to be that way. So I was doing my video and I could not get it to work out no matter what I did. This could also almost be out of, there's a little bit in there, could be out of glue. So I filmed a couple, and then finally, after I had a little bit of a meltdown, I tried it one more time. And I got the video filmed, and I'm kind of hesitant to say this because I don't want to jinx myself again. And I started talking about something with my mom, and all of a sudden, I got almost to the end of the video, and the video just stopped recording. Now, you all know I film from an iPhone, which is on a little mount that is up here. So I can't touch it and have my hands doing a project at the same time. So the battery was fully charged and everything, and it just randomly cut off filming. And I was so frustrated. I said, well, forget it. Clearly, I'm just not meant to do this video right now. I'm going to put this other little piece here too while we're at it. So I did upload it, but I thought I cannot give people a video that is almost completely finished and then it just stops. So I still have no reason why that happened, that it just stopped filming randomly. That was still pretty crazy. I'm just going to try to center this because it does have a little bit bigger of a gap than the other one does, but nice part about liquid glue, you can move things around. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tear and tape because you do want something pretty secure to hold this in place. So I would say you could do like a good size piece and a tiny piece if you wanted. Kind of just depends. But you want, especially if this is going to be something that's going to be being opened and closed, because everybody's going to love it. I would say to definitely make sure you use a good amount of adhesive. And a strong one, not snail. Snail is not going to hold this together. All right, so there's that. So anyway, I don't really know exactly why my video stopped filming. Still, I will tell you that the anniversary of the day that I lost my mom is coming up. Unfortunately, it is 2 days before Valentine's Day, which never was a huge Valentine's person anyway. But I've had some strange things going on the past couple days or so. Today I was downstairs doing some computer work, and I had my wedding rings off. They were just my ring, and then I have my anniversary band sitting next to me, flat. And all of a sudden, the anniversary band just landed on the floor. And it's on a very flat surface, so I don't know who decided to push that off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attach this part here to the bottom. Let me trim this just a little bit. I notice it has a little bit of a ridge. Sorry about the phone ringing there. So attach this to the bottom. Same with this one. I also have an orchid from my mom's work, where my mom worked. She worked with my best friend. And that orchid blooms every single year, somewhere around the day that she passed. So it is almost ready to bloom. I think I might have to trim this off just a little bit. It's hanging over just a tiny bit that it's gonna aggravate me. I'm gonna do a little wedge trim on these too, since they might show. Just a teeny bit. So I'll have to show you a picture because it has 4 or 5 blooms on it, and they are almost ready to open up. It's a beautiful orchid, so it has bloomed every year. And you know, orchids are very finicky, so this was in her office. So I'm going to go ahead and just press this down. This was in her office at work because I kind of figured, yeah, once you bring this home, this might be the end of it. It might not bloom ever again. But it has every year, sometimes twice a year. It blooms sometimes around, it comes a little closer to my birthday, which is past already. But that's when the sprouts started coming. So you can see this does fit in there nicely. You could also fit in lots of other Valentine's treats, lots of other things that aren't food related, but y'all know I love food, especially Little Debbie snack cakes. And I think that's how I got on the subject, because Little Debbie's, and my mom's name was Debbie. So that fits in there very perfectly. When I gave this to my nephew, what I did was I tied this with this beautiful red ribbon that we have in the catalog. Now this doesn't have anything in it currently since I just took that out, but this ribbon ties, and actually it even moves really well if you need to adjust it. So you could tie it so it's kind of a little bit to one side. You could bring it a little bit more so it's in the center. But I'm going to move this just a smidge. I want to make sure it's even. Like that. So I gave this to my nephew. He didn't even bother untying this, although he is little. I'll give him that. He just pulled the thing right off and went right to town on the candy. But he's the youngest, so he doesn't have his own basket like everybody else does. Let me see. trying to make this. Sometimes if you want to make a pretty bow, but I think this is almost a little bit too short. If you go around backwards, it will make your bow really, really pretty. But this one, the string is almost just a little bit too short. I'm just going to adjust this a little bit. Still looks cute. So there's that. You can trim this a little bit. This is a beautiful ribbon for tying. Really, really nice. And then you could add in just a little stamped Happy Valentine's Day. You could even use, I punched out a couple of these from the DSP, the other side's little scrappy pieces. Figured you maybe could put those two together if you had a piece that wasn't the full heart, because you could kind of disguise it around the back. You could use, where's the other one? I at least want to show you this before the video cuts out on me again. You could use this, which I don't have much of this paper left, but you could even write their name or stamp Happy Valentine's Day and then punch this out, because this one fits the scallop punched exactly. Obviously not like that, but you can punch this out. You could use a half of a heart. You could kind of layer these two together. Same thing. So lots of things you can do, even with the little scrappy pieces left over. I'm kind of rounding out the time to Valentine's Day, so we don't have too much time left, but I figured this will at least give you a little bit of an easy way to make a little gift box. You could probably fit a nice tennis bracelet in there, or a small piece of jewelry, or maybe if your special someone prefers Tombow liquid glue, you could put a couple of those in there, and you could probably fit a Tipsy. Let's see. I wrapped the one that didn't have this because I'm going to be eating this now that I filmed it. You could look at that. You could fit a Tipsy, and you could fit a glue. Oh, then they'll really know that you love them if you're going to put a Tipsy in there. Isn't that perfect? You can get these Tipsies. I'm not sure if they will come in time for Valentine's Day, but you can get these from Lisa and John at Crafters Solutions. You can find them on Etsy or Facebook. They make these in Ohio. So great, wonderful small business to support, but you could get one in red. Show them how much you love them in red. So there you go. Perfect little gift holder there. Thank you guys so much for listening to my crazy stories today. I hope you have enjoyed them. I hope that if you guys have any questions, you will always send me an email. You can leave me a message here on YouTube, or you can send me an email at rachthestamper@gmail.com. Thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks for watching.